the dark of the midnight have I oft heard my cry, while the storm howls above me, and there's no hiding place. May the crash of the thunder, precious Lord, hear my cry, keep me safe till the storm passes by. Till the storm passes over, till the thunder sounds no more, till the clouds roll forever from the sky. Hold me fast, let me stand in the hollow of your hand. Keep me safe till the storm passes by. Many times Satan whispers, there's no need to try, for there's no end of sorrow, there's no hope by and by. But I know thou art with me, and tomorrow I'll rise where the storms never darken the skies. Till the storm passes over, till the thunder sounds no more, till the clouds roll forever from the sky. Hold me fast, let me stand in the hollow of your hand. Keep me safe till the storm passes by. Good evening, church. It's good to be back here today. I enjoyed your singing earlier on. I felt an Adventist again. It's beautiful when God's children sing together. I will encourage you to bring someone tomorrow so we can learn more together with our friends and relatives. And I know that the Lord will do a good thing for us. There is only one disease. That's our title today. There's only how many diseases? One. One disease. Disease never comes without a what? A cause. The way is prepared and disease invited by disregard of the laws of health. Many suffer in consequence of the transgression of their parents. While they are not responsible for what their parents have done, it is nevertheless their duty to ascertain what are and what are not violations of the laws of health. They should avoid the wrong habits of their parents and by correct living, place themselves in better conditions. We talked about this last night. Heredity has its place, but it is our duty to remove bad heredity. Over the years, physicians have come to think of no other means of treating than the use of drugs. And the public has gotten used to the idea they could buy health in a bottle. So, when we help people, we should remove this idea that health can be found in a little bottle. In my medical missionary work, I go to many homes, and some homes I find a lot of pills. It's like another meal. You understand? Yeah. A pill for this, a pill for that, cup for that, cup for that. You know? And we should, from today, forget the idea that I can just go to a doctor and he'll give me pills. I had an uncle back home who had a friend who was a doctor. So I would hear him brag, okay, Dr. So-and-so is my friend. If I get sick, I just go to him. Now, that is not something to be bragging about. If I get sick, I have my friend who's a what? Who's a doctor. Do you know who the best doctor is? It is you. Amen? And so, we want to make ourselves doctors here today, by God's grace. The symptoms of so-called disease are treated as disease itself. The main object of the treatment is to smother and reduce these symptoms. So, have you seen that if you get diabetes today, you go to the hospital, they will tell you what? You will drink these pills forever. Now, I want us to turn that off today. Amen? Because God has created his body well to replenish itself, to treat itself. Instead of managing disease, God has given us ways of removing diseases should it come. Amen? However, a careful look at disease will show that disease is actually a process of curative efforts on the part of nature to right a wrong. So disease is your friend. Amen? Now you see, that sounds like a dichotomy. Sounds like yeah. Disease is your friend. There is what is called homeostasis in the body. The body was created to have what is called homeostasis. You know homeostasis? Homeostasis, let's hear what the dictionary says. It says a property of cells, tissues, and organisms that allows the maintenance and regulation of the stability and constancy needed to function properly. Homeostasis is a healthy state that is maintained by the constant adjustment of biochemical and physiological pathways. The constant adjustment. In other words, if your temperature becomes too high, what happens? You perspire. When you're running, right? When you're running, it's hot. You sweat because the body is trying to maintain what? Homeostasis. When you are sick, when you get a fever, what happens? The body is what? It's fighting. You get high temperatures because the body is trying to burn the impurities. Okay? And then the high temperature is there to make us go back to normal again. Right? If you understand the nature of a sneeze, you will understand how disease works. See, when you sneeze, The body is trying to what? Expel. The impurity. As the foreign matter is violently expelled in the process of sneezing, so is the waste and morbid matter expelled by the body in a set of symptoms in the many so-called diseases. So when you get a disease, the body is just trying to maintain homeostasis. So it's just trying to get you back to normal. That's what we call disease. Do you see the picture? Every acute disease is merely a healing crisis, a result of the body struggling to free itself from its load of toxic poisons within. Every pimple or boil is the evidence of the body throwing off these poisons through the skin. A fever is the body's method of burning up wastes. The body naturally strives to keep itself clean and healthy, but we must cooperate. Do you see the picture? So the body is just trying to get rid of toxic material to make us well again. That's what we call disease. As it is absurd to smother a sneeze, it is equally absurd to suppress the symptoms which constitute the outward and visible signs of the curing process that may be going on in the body. So in other words, we must not suppress disease. We must assist it. Do you see the picture? It's like when you have a cough. When you have a cough, what do? You go buy cough mixture. Cough mixture stops the cough. The cough was trying to help you to remove toxic material. We have to assist nature instead of suppressing it. Do you see the picture? We should aid and assist them, not hinder and prevent them. Disease itself is the process of cure. This is the basic element of health education. So disease is a process of curing us. Even though many are coming to realize this truth, it came as a result of violent rejection in the days before, long time ago. In the days of Ellen White, it was such a revolutionary idea that it met with violent opposition on all sides, and particularly, of course, by the orthodox medical profession as it is today. When you talk like this, many people are not going to agree, and that's okay, right? Adventists are blessed by the fact that we have the spirit of prophecy that has told us long ago things that science is only what? Agreeing now today, you see. And so, when you understand this disease thing, then you can be able to help it better. Do you see the picture? The impurities of the body, if not allowed to escape, are taken back into the blood and forced upon the eternal organs. Nature makes an effort to free the system in order to relieve herself of poisonous impurities. So, if we don't remove the toxicity, it goes back, and it goes back to the bloodstream, right? Making us very uncomfortable, very unhealthy. And for example, if you have a lot of toxicity it builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up. And then you see somebody has a tumor. See, a tumor is just toxic material that's trying to get out. And there's no way to get out. We are not exercising. We're not perspiring to open the pores, right? We are not, we are clogged. Remember yesterday we talked about we are too, what do you call? Tight. So things are inside. They can't go out. And when they are inside like that, all that toxicity which is supposed to go out is building up. One day it will just try somewhere to come out. It come out as a tumor. Like, I'll give a good example. You see how we do antiperspirant. You roll it on there so that you don't what? You don't perspire. When you don't perspire, where do you think all that is going? Inside you. When you sweat, it's unclean, right? So if it's building inside you, I'm telling you, it will one day come out and it will be a tumor, right? And you don't want that. So that's the thing to avoid. This effort produces fevers and what is termed disease. But even then, if those who are afflicted would assist nature in her efforts by the use of pure, soft water, much suffering would be prevented. But many, instead of doing this and seeking to remove the poisonous matter from the system, they take a more deadly poison into the system to remove a poison already there. Toxins are already inside you. Then you put another toxin to remove a toxin. Do you see the picture? And by this, it's talking about drugs. The drugs we take in every day. Yeah. And they will not do us much good. Nature bears abuse as long as she can without resisting. Then she arouses and makes a mighty effort to rid herself of the encumbrances and evil treatment she has suffered. Then come headache, chills, fevers, nervousness, paralysis, and other evils too numerous to mention. A wrong course of eating or drinking destroys health, and with it, the sweetness of life. When you are sick, the sweetness of life is gone. Right? So what we are trying to do here is bring back sweetness to life. Amen? Somebody say amen. Let's bring back sweetness to life. Eh? Pleasantness. You can't really be pleasant when you are not well. It's hard. It is not smothering symptoms, but removing the cause of these symptoms that will bring healing. We can't pamper them and keep them inside. We must let them go. Yet even they themselves would naturally, automatically disappear. Even if you don't do anything to a flu, it will get out eventually. Right? So, what we need instead is to help it. What is the cause? Waste. Huh? Waste. Poisonous material in the system, which nature is endeavoring to expel. Today, this condition is known among health reformers as toxemia. By this, they do not mean germs or the excretions of germs, but a general condition of poisoning brought on by an excess of putrefying waste Remember last night we were talking about putrefying waste? Waste material in the bloodstream and in the body generally. So when things are not removed from the body, right, they start circulating in the body and in your bloodstream, making it very difficult to live a healthy life. Sometimes you just feel weak. You don't know why. It's toxic material inside you, right? Sometimes you just feel dizzy and just sickly. All that can be removed. When there is restorative power in nature, when this is expelled, all symptoms, that is the so-called diseases, spontaneously vanish. The patient is cured. When toxins are removed, you are what? You are now cured. The true art of healing is thus very simple. All so-called diseases are basically one. There are not many diseases, but one causal factor which may produce local symptoms. The same cause is at work. And the same methods of treatment are applicable in practically all cases. Amen? Does that make sense? So the cause of disease is basically one: when the blood is defiled, when the blood is toxic, then we are sick. All morbid actions are evidence of the remedial efforts of nature to overcome morbid conditions or expel morbid materials. All that any true system of medication can do or should attempt to do is to place the organism under the best possible circumstances for the favorable operation of those efforts. Amen? We may thwart, interrupt, or suppress them and stop the action of the body process. But we must confess to the paradoxical proposition that disease are the evidences of the restorative effort. The effort, however, may be unequal in the end, and hence the powers of nature are to be assisted in removing obstacles, diverting irritation. This morbid material has accumulated within the system as a result, mainly of our own dietetic transgressions. That's the main issue. They have not the slightest excuse for eating the flesh of dead animals. Did you hear that? They are actually dead. You know, this is so graphic. Eh? Dead animals. God's curse is resting upon the animal creation. Many times, when meat is eaten, it decays in the stomach and creates disease. Cancers, tumors, pulmonary diseases are largely caused by meat eating. Amen? Now, I want to add to that. Meat eating, it's not only the meat, it's meat and its children. Huh? You know the children of meat? Remember the children of meat? The eggs, the cheese, the butter, the milk, ice cream. Ice cream is very bad.
Mercy.
You missed good ice cream this afternoon. We had powerful ice cream. My brothers there.
Crushed ice? No.
We had real good ice cream this afternoon. If you taste that one, there's no need for the other. Amen? Yeah. 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 So you can make it banana, you can make it mango, strawberries, anything stuff. Good stuff. Right. Yeah. So here is the result of some of the things that we eat, right? Now this is actually it's made so clean. It's not as clean as that when we are sick, right? All these, you see those pouches? It's called diverticulitis. Those same pouches. It's real, eh? This is the cause of wrong eating habits. It's important to know what diverticulitis is, because determining that will lead to appropriate treatment. More importantly, if you know what causes it, then you can take steps to prevent it. Diverticulitis is inflammation or infection of small pouches called diverticula, which develop along the walls of the intestines. The formation of the pouches themselves is a relatively benign condition known as a diverticulosis. So, just showing you some of the results of bad eating. Gout, arthritis, and rheumatoid. You start having issues on your fingers. You can't write. You can't fold your fingers. Life becomes just unbearable. Now, when somebody has acute arthritis, you can do the extreme way of removing. You know what causes arthritis? Basically, remember we said it's toxicity, right? So now, and this is uric acid. It goes to your bones. It goes to the corners of your bones. So, so what you're trying to do when you're curing arthritis is to remove the acid. Do you see the picture? Does that make sense? Yeah. If your pH is low, you're going to get arthritis and disease in general, right? So see, this treatment here is extreme. When you have a buildup of uric acid, you can take garlic. You know garlic? You know garlic, right? You just hammer it hard, or you can blend it. Just make sure it's not whole. It's crushed, yeah. So when you crush garlic, you make a poultice. What a poultice is? You take a paper towel, you put it on there, you cover both sides. And then you put on wherever the arthritis pain is, right? Overnight. Now this is the extreme way. You understand what I mean? What I'm talking about? You do this last, because it will give you, if you sleep overnight like this, it will bring all these pouches of, all that is uric acid. Do you see that? So, there it is. So, the uric acid is building up overnight. So when you put that pouch, you cover it with plastic, and it's hot. It will heat your thing and make blisters like that. And then in the morning, you take a clean clip. Let the water go. It's unpleasant, but you are healed. Here's a quote. One of the boys who came with a father was a cripple, using crutches, and he cooked while the others worked. This boy is 13 years old and had been troubled with a knee swelling for 5 years. For 11 months, he was confined to his bed under the care of a physician. Sister McEntefer had treated him with water compresses and pulverized charcoal until the inflammation had been relieved. So, charcoal is your what? Is your friend. It can be used for so many things. So many things. If you get food poisoning, keep charcoal with you. In fact, it's good for the health department and the kitchen to cooperate to keep a charcoal thing in the kitchen. You never know. Somebody, first aid, you need charcoal always with you. There are two things you need. A few things rather. One of them is charcoal, the other one is cayenne pepper. You see cayenne pepper? It will heal, it will save a life. If somebody has a heart attack or a stroke, just rush with the cayenne pepper, put it under the tongue, and let them take it in through the bloodstream. It will save a life. No. When you have a asthma, you can also use charcoal. Not charcoal, cayenne pepper. So that's good. He was so much better that he laid aside his crutches and attended to the cooking as has been mentioned. But this was too much, and the knee troubled him again. It was necessary to give him a thorough course of treatment. So we took him into my own house and gave him constant care. There was a large swelling under the knee, which he called his egg. This swelling was opened and discharged freely, and from it were taken pieces of bone. That's disease for you. Nature trying to free you from toxicity. Now, some of the pictures, next ones, are going to be a little bit graphic. It's all right. You can survive. That's nature. That's under the foot. All this can be treated. There we go. All that is a toe that is gone. Jeremiah 46, verse 11. You try many medicines in what? In vain. And there is no healing for you. I have a friend, when we were in the United States many years ago, he had cancer. He went to be treated to get chemotherapy. Each time he came home, he would be so weak and tired. And he would be so done. It was such an unpleasant thing. And he survived for 5 years. He was gone. He passed away. And later on, as I'm studying now, so I have discovered that when they say 100% survival, when you go for cancer treatment, if they say there is a 65% survival chance, what they're saying is 65% of 5 years. Do you see the picture? So, if they say you have survived 5 years. Now, who wants to survive 100% which is only 5 years. Who wants that? When you survive, you must survive and thrive. And those 5 years, you are sickly. You are weak. They have destroyed your cells that you need to survive. Now, what is better? Let me give you a good example. A couple years ago, my father, back home, got really sick. And my mom was panicking, and she called me. And as she called me, I could hear my father groaning on the bed. He was in pain. So I told him, go to the hospital, find out what it is. They went to the hospital, and it was kidney stones. So my father was in real pain. So when they told me, I said, okay, don't take any of their pills. Right now, I can say that to my father. I won't say that to you. You can do what you want. I'll tell you what to do, but the pills and all that is between you and the doctor. Amen? So I told them, don't take any of the pills. Come home. I told them, go buy a lot of apples. How many apples? A lot of them. So they juiced apples only for the next 3 days. So my father was juicing apples alone for 3 days. On the last day, I told him, you should take a glass of lemon. Not a glass, a cup. Lemon. 1 cup of lemon. Lemon juice is just squeeze lemon, real lemon. Don't buy the lemon that you buy in the store. No. Real lemon. Real lemon. And drink that. Then take another cup of olive oil. Drink that. So he did that. And the last day of it was a Friday night. Sabbath morning, my mom was supposed to go for women's ministries meeting, whatever. But she was just relaxed at home. She was not doing anything. She was just sitting at home. And so my father says to her, so how come you're not going for the meetings? And she says, I can't leave you when you are sick. He says, no, I'm fine. You can go. Amen? And when he called me, he said, that thing really worked. He was so relieved. Now, if you were to ask me, I want to ask you, what would you rather do? Before I ask you this question, I'll tell you another story. So you can kind of make two. I have a program that I do for weight loss. 10 weeks weight loss program. So somebody contacted another friend of mine I was with at school, at Solusi. She contacts me. She wants to do this program. And she tells me about stuff, this and that. She just had her appendix removed. Appendix removed. Now, did you know the same treatment my father got for kidney stones is the same thing you need for the gallbladder? No. It was not appendix, the gallbladder. Yeah. It's the same treatment you use for the gallbladder. And she had her gallbladder removed. Now, what would you rather do if I were to ask you, what would you rather do? Would you rather go have a doctor cut your gallbladder, or would you rather just eat apples? One of the ways to clean the liver is the same thing. You use lemons. You just take lemons, right? But maybe let me not jump again before. Let's get this going first. I'll tell you that at the end. Okay? Now, the other verse, Jeremiah 8, verse 22. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered? Is there no balm there in Gilead? Wow. Powerful stuff, man. This is implying that the balm is there. But we're just not going to get the balm. Treatment is there, available, and prevention is better than cure. Because sometimes, like my sister said, things are discovered late. So better prevent it before if it even comes. Amen? The other verse is what? Ezekiel 34, verse 4. The diseased have you not strengthened, neither have you healed that which was sick, neither have you bound up that which was broken, neither have you brought again that which was driven away, neither have you sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have you ruled them. Disease is reality, but we can get rid of it by God's grace. Amen? This man was treated was cured of cancer. 80 years old. Natural means. Amen? I have seen a lot of pictures of people. The place where I went for training, they have a whole, for them it's very simple. It's no longer as amazing as it may sound to many of us. They have a whole lot of list of pictures. This one was so-and-so. This was from North Carolina. She had this kind of cancer. We helped her. She's okay now. A whole list of people who were sick of cancer and are now healed. Cancer can be cured. They told us of a story of one lady came with spinal cancer on a wheelchair. In 3 days, she was off that wheelchair and she could walk. By God's grace. Amen? This thing can be done. There is a way. Cleanse your system. Now let's talk about the cleansing system. This is, if you want to heal yourself, well, no, you can't heal yourself. You want to assist the body, to assist nature to heal itself. Amen? Because God created the body with homeostasis so that we can be able to rebound back to normal again. Right? Now, one of the best ways and the fastest ways to get back to normal life again is by cleansing. Body cleansing. When you do cleansing, you take 3 to 7 days, depending on severity. Just go for 7 days, right? Drinking only the juice of fruits and vegetables, right? Only. You take 7 days drinking that alone, right? In a juicer, not a blender. Do you see the picture? A juicer will go quickly to the bloodstream. And when it's still potent, if it is blended, the roughage, the fiber, will slow down in the digestion. And by the time it gets to the bloodstream, it's no longer as potent. Do you see the picture? So you want that juice. In fact, that juice is more potent within the first 10 minutes soon after juicing it. Drink it within the next 10 minutes. And don't mix fruits and vegetables at the same meal. So same thing with the juicing. You want to not mix the fruits and the vegetables. And so if you do that for 7 days, you are cleaning all those toxic materials. You also need to aid the system. Go buy yourself Epsom salts. You know what is called Epsom salts? Yeah. Get those Epsom salts. Every morning and every night, go into the shower room. So those Epsom salts, put a little bit of salt, water, to make it just a little bit wet. You know, like at the sea, when you're playing with the sand. Yeah. And rub yourself. Rub yourself. If you have somebody to rub your back, let them do it for you. Rub yourself. Every morning and every night. Right? Rub yourself hard, real hard. What it does, it opens the pores. Opens the pores to let toxins get out. You are assisting nature to get rid of toxic materials. Amen? And then you also buy an enema. You know an enema? You don't want to use their material inside. Get rid of it. You don't need that. All you need is the container. Do you see the picture? You get water, warm it, warm water. Then you squeeze a lemon, whole lemon in there, like in a quart of it. And then you put it in the enema tube, what do you call? Bottle, and squeeze into yourself. Right? That's right. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Yeah. Through the rectum. Now, that is one of the best things you can do for your health. Amen? So all these toxins that the juices are removing, are we together? Are we together? All these juices, that we are taking inside, are removing lots of toxic materials. And you need the enema to help remove the toxic. They are too much. Do you see the picture? Yeah. And then, after 7 days, after how many days? 7 days. You go for another 14 days. How many days? 14 days. This time, you're not drinking the juice alone, but you are eating the fruits and the vegetables separately. Now, if you are really, really sick, don't do the fruits. Just do the vegetables. Do you see the picture? Raw. All this is raw. No cooked stuff at this time. So, if you are really sick, don't do the fruits. Do just the vegetables. This is because fruits have too much sugar. You want to reduce sugar as much as possible. If you are just doing it to remove toxic materials, then it's okay. But if you are sick and you're trying to help yourself, the best way is to go with more of the vegetables. And if you just take the vegetables alone, they'll be bitter in the mouth. They're undrinkable, so to say. So you have to put garlic and ginger. Garlic and ginger will help the taste. And for toxic materials to help, use also parsley. You know parsley? Yeah. It's a very good remover of toxins. You can also add a teaspoon of turmeric powder. See the turmeric powder? You can also add moringa. You know moringa? You can also add spirulina. You know spirulina? Yeah. You can add that too. What I'm saying here is general for everyone. Then there are those who have other issues. We will start adding a few other herbal concoctions so that you can even gain better. Now, the best thing for flu is to keep your immune system strong. And how do you do that?
No sugar.
That's right. That's right. No sugar. No sugar. No, nothing with a mother. Anything with a mother, don't eat. Or nothing with a face. Don't eat. Don't eat that. That's the best. And then you eat lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. Your immune system cannot go wrong. It's better than what they want you to put. Do you remember those? The flu shots. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. And so we talked about the 14 days, right? 14 days you are eating fruits and vegetables. Now this time you are just eating them, just raw.
Question.
Yes.
Lots of vegetables and fruits, they have pesticides. So how do you clean that?
That's a good question. You buy organic food. If you are doing the cleansing, the best thing, go for organic. Because you don't want to cleanse yourself with things that are GMO. You understand?
Yeah.
Things that will put toxins in you when you're trying to remove toxins.
I think you can also purify your vegetables by soaking them in water with soda. Or even vinegar. It will help wash the pesticides in the vegetables.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. You want to... I know people talk about soda and what. You want to avoid soda. Because soda has been said in the spirit of prophecy. Don't get what? Soda. It will cause inflammation in the system. And so forth. So soda, even though it will, many health people will espouse it. Just avoid soda. Here's what you do. You can use even vinegar. Vinegar, same thing. Vinegar will poison your blood. So you don't want vinegar. The best thing for vinegar, use it for cleaning windows. Yeah, cleaning stuff. Yeah, it's good. You want to use, even when you clean your vegetables, right? Even when they are organic, just make sure they are clean. You can put water, like Mama was saying, but now you want to add the charcoal powder instead. Yeah, it will absorb all the toxins. Do you see the picture? Absorb all the toxins, and the vegetables, you just clean them, they are clean. Okay? And you can also use, what do you call this? Hydrogen peroxide. You know hydrogen peroxide? Yeah. Very good. You dilute it. Is it time?
Time, yes.
Okay, let me finish up. Okay, before the questions, we were talking about removing toxins, right? The next thing you do after 2 weeks, no. Yeah, after 2 weeks, you have cleaned your system. Your gut is now clean. Disease is gone. But now you need to clean the liver. How do you clean the liver? You use 5 lemons. You buy lots of lemons. Every day you take 5 lemons 2 to 3 hours before breakfast. Right? Yeah. 2 to 3 hours before breakfast. Get yourself 5 lemons, squeeze them in a cup, and drink. You can put maybe a little bit of olive oil, and then you drink together.
Will it give you hyperacidity?
No, the opposite.
Because I have heard from this Adventist doctor, he is a naturalist. He said that in the morning you will only drink in 1 cup of water, just drop like 4 drops of lemon in the morning. Because I tried using that lemon in the morning with so much lemon in water, it gives me hyperacidity.
It turns alkaline when it gets in your body like acid, like the
Yeah,
lemon.
yeah.
When it does, it's if you want to say it could be acidic before, but when your body
Right.
takes in, it becomes alkaline.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So the next day you add another 5. That's 10. Second day. The next day you add another 5. That's how many? 15. The next day you add another what? 5. That's what? 20. The next day you add what? Another 5. 25. Yeah, and you are done.
Remember, I know that everybody's skeptical about this, but remember what he is actually doing. You're treating, you're doing a cleanse. It's not something that you are going to be doing all of it. This is just
Right.
for your liver.
Yeah.
Remember that one-time thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you do it after removing toxins from the gut. Do you see the picture, the difference? Because if you do the liver first, when the gut is unclean, it will dirten the liver still. Because the gut feeds the liver. Do you see the picture? So you want to start with the gut, clean the gut, make sure it's clean. Then you go for the liver. And when you do the liver, then after that, you are now eating, you remove from your diet things like what? With no face or with no mother. Remove those things. Those are the culprits. And then you are eating whole grain food, right? You are eating lots of fruits. Your plate must be 85% raw vegetables. If you are eating lunch, 85% of it must be raw vegetables, celery, carrots, broccoli, you name it. Amen? Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.